Hello, how are you? I am making this video as just an informative, I don't know how it's gonna turn out video. We're just gonna go with the flow. I am working on lighting this Finances oil that I made last night. I just kind of whipped it together. I don't know if anyone else makes any type of intentional oil, but I absolutely recommend it because I kid you not, I started last week and I've made like 5 oils and my life is exceptionally manifesting a lot faster. Like the things that I've been waiting for to happen, but I'm also making the action that I have yet to have to make, you know what I mean? So I'm putting in the action as well in the manifestation is coming. So I kind of just realized over time with manifestations and law of attraction and everything like that, that you have to absolutely do the actual action to make the manifestation happen. So yeah, so I'm just kind of like, you know, I've been doing law of attraction work and manifestation work since I would say maybe 2018, 2017. I would say maybe 2017. I started my spiritual journey and I started more so with the intention of manifestation. And then it went into, I realized that I have the ability to decipher messages via tarot and oracle cards, and then I can now read the runes pretty well in numerology and everything. Just it's like the domino effect, but instead of it all just always falling, it's kind of like being brought up, and in the end, you know, I'm going to be like, I'm so impressed with myself right now, and it's so awesome for me to like recognize these strengths within myself and the immense, like, it's just amazing for me to just go back and think about where I was and think about where I am. Like, holy crud, that is amazing, because I like Isis. All right. She is everything, the mistress of magic. Her magic is the most ancient as she guides us to learn the mysteries. And I'm like kind of tearing up right now, y'all, because I am like, I myself am really trying to release a lot of hard beliefs I've had over the years. Like these beliefs, love and compassion, bring more love to a situation, whether it is towards yourself or someone connected to the question. There may be a need for forgiveness or seeing things from a fresh, more expansive perspective. Remember, you are loved and have unlimited access to the gentle yet transformational force of loving compassion as and when you need it. To bring yourself back into your heart, think about those who love or you love in the moments with them where you have felt joy. Expand this feeling out to more and more people, creatures, and places until the whole planet is infused with this beautiful, warm, and loving feeling. Yo, when I read kind of the last two, like, okay, until the whole world is infused with the beautiful, warm, and loving feeling, I just thought about how if you're the only person in the room that has like a light inside of you, and you probably would know if you're one of those people, and there's like a room where no one else is like lit, or like, that's funny though, no one else is lit, but you know what I mean? You could be the person that lights the entire room, like with their own light. And it is so hard, okay, to constantly think about you as you're good just the way you are when it comes to when it comes to your light and comparing your light to other people, okay? Me too in this, because I tend to, and I just realized this like a couple days ago, but I absolutely forget, or like I kind of put my opinion to the side and I accept that other person's opinion as my own. And I do this a lot so that there's not a lot of conflict when like you have disagreements with people in terms of opinions, because let me just say, opinions are just perception. It is not the actual truth of our reality. And it is so interesting how we as a society, as humans, have gotten into this habit and this belief that other people's opinions are more correct than our own when it comes to our own life, you know. The more I attune my energy with appreciation, the more the universe will deliver, right? So when it comes to, and I'm getting this sense of light, now there is magic within your light. It's your individual light. You have these individual qualities that make you so fantastic that you could light up an auditorium. You could light up an entire venue where there's thousands of people, and you are the rock star who is center stage. You are Freddie and Queen just singing, you know? But like, ultimately I see that it's about recognizing your special qualities as well. The qualities that ignite that light in you, that make you feel alive, that make you feel like even though you might be separate from others, that is what needs to happen. That is the perfect plan. I am patient, knowing that whatever is of the highest good is coming to me. Now, something that also comes to mind is, do you feel like you have a community within you and without you, within and without? The thing about community, and I actually just got a cool message from someone on Instagram, because y'all, I was in my feelings yesterday, and I still kind of am, but they were basically saying how, you know, when you have faith and everything, it is so awesome. But when you are, like, whether or not you have faith, right? It was kind of like, there's a lot of things in that message. But overall, community helps all of us feel like we are, like we belong, right? So when I mention the community on the inside, I mention all of the parts of you that are you, that come together in essence of a community. And you have those town hall meetings, and you as the mayor are, you know, dictating what happens in those meetings and everything like that. But I'm getting kind of the message, somehow, some way, there's community that needs to be brought up in this message, or in this kind of like, you know, this could honestly be like, I'm your best friend and I'm just giving you some advice that could really ultimately help you out when it comes to just being like, not being too like brutally honest, but telling you what it is so that we can all like not be so confused. Because if one of us is confused, then there probably is multiple of us confused. I got Joy and Jubilation. I'm not going to be showing you this card because it is a tad inappropriate for YouTube standards, but Joy and Jubilation. Joy and Jubilation. Did you know joy is actually the purest form of emotion that you could like encapsulate in? You might think happiness is, but joy, I'm not so exactly sure on joy when it comes to what it feels like and what it is, because I still have yet to feel that for myself, but I am working on it. Like that card being like, you know, just patience, work on it, and it will come, you know. Also, trust came to mind too, in terms of patience. They say patience is a virtue, but they also say ignorance is a bliss. So I have no clue. Like, yeah, there's so many things that, like, yeah, they say this, but they also say this and this and this. And I'm just like, there's so many like twists and turns of it all. So I got the Two of Pentacles. I have the Ace of Pentacles. I have the Magician. And I have the Knight of Wands. These are the four that flipped out. And then I have two. I'm not gonna look at them yet because I don't wanna try to get directions. I kind of looked at them. But I try my very best because the ones that are flipped out are more so, it's more so coming up, and the ones that flip out are the ones that are, you're in this energy right now. So the energy that you're in is in the balancing stage of something physical beginning. It could be that, like, it could be a routine, it could be just something in your physical life that is at the very beginning of it, right? And we have the Magician. I love this card. You're also, whatever it is that you are working on, it could entail your manifestations, which is wonderful. Or it just could entail you using so many different types of skills that you have kind of like gained knowledge on, and you're using them in terms of building with the Ace of Pentacles, building with whatever it is that you're beginning with. And then the Knight of Wands as well. So it's like you're in the apprentice stage of testing out your mindset, where you're on your own, but you do realize that you're not at the mature level of like the Queen of Wands or the King of Wands. So you're still in that immatureness of it all, but just because you're immature does not mean you're growing into the Queen or King. That could be also what the Patient card or Patience card is coming from, is just pinpointing if you have any irritability, if you have any like, you want to make moves impulsively fast, just come back to the fact that yes, patience is a virtue. And I have to like kind of lean in close because I like can't really see that well, but yes, patience is a virtue. But like, oh my gosh, I love that appreciation is here, because yeah, when you start to become irritable and you start to, honestly, it's like you are, when you're trying to be patient, right? You're trying to sit in it and you're trying to be like, okay, I'm going to go at this speed, because maybe you were going pretty fast with whatever it is that you're working on in terms of building it. But when it comes to building anything, if you rush the process, you will absolutely get so many different types of mistakes, holes, that if you would go step by step slowly into it, you're going to still like have those mistakes and have those holes, but you're going to have the awareness of being more thorough. You're going to be able to get through a lot more details because you're not rushing the process. Whatever it is that you are creating, okay? And I do feel like with the Magician, like your mindset is so much on what can I create? Your mindset is so much on the possibilities. It's very important. It's very important to not rush the process. It's very important to take every single step with meaning, with mindfulness. You're going to be able to uncover the details that will help you kind of like sidestep maybe this hole in your path, right? And maybe you're like almost off your path, but you sidestep and you see that there's enough room for you to get on by this hole so that you can keep moving forward. And the holes, I would say, are just learning lessons. They are ways that you can build your growth in terms of your character, in terms of your maturity, in terms of you realizing that even though like you are the Magician, you're going to make those mistakes and you are still the apprentice. You're not the master yet. You know, the practice does take time to really integrate into knowing what it really is. we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is the energy that will be coming up, in the Two of Swords in reverse. So whatever decisions or whatever it is that in your mind you're like having such a hard time moving forward, right? It feels like you're saying fuck it and you're just going with it. Like you're going and being public about it, whatever it is that you're having a hard time deciding with. Now I do want to see what exactly the Two of Swords, why that is in reverse, because I see like it could be that you're no longer hesitating in the areas that you once thought you had to hesitate or be cautious in. That makes sense. That makes sense, because the things that you are cautious in, right? Ace of Cups. And I'm getting chills as I say this, but the things that you're hesitating in and, you know, you're being cautious in and you're kind of like having a hard time deciding what to do or making your mind up with it, ultimately you're looking at those situations that I just described, this situation, with, honestly, it feels like a new light in terms of how you want to handle it with your emotions. Like, do you regulate your emotions? I don't. I have borderline personality disorder. You think I regulate my emotions? No. I'm learning now. I'm learning how to regulate my emotions. But when it comes to making decisions, and I think I did mention trust before, but really, whatever decision you make, and we make decisions every day. Do you eat breakfast? Yes, you made a decision to do that. Do you get out of bed? Yes, you made a decision to do that. You're realizing that the areas that you're having a hard time deciding in, and it definitely seems to be entail with maybe manifestations, looking at it in a way of, yeah, the Six of Cups, giving back to yourself though. Now I know you can always give back to other people, but if you don't give back to yourself in the way that you need to, in terms of feeling like ultimately fulfilled, and you choose to give to other people while maybe you are at like 50% of fulfillment, you're now going to be at 25%, and that person has 25% of whatever you have. So it's about, ultimately, it's about giving back to yourself, but making sure that you are satisfied with how, like with you, 100%, fully charged. Do you charge your phone at night? Right? Yeah, you probably do, because probably the next morning, if you don't, it's close to being dead. That is the same in essence of you in terms of manifestations. The Five of Pentacles, it wanted to be upright, but it shot out reversed, okay? We have the Nine of Swords as well. We have the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Six of Wands. Okay, so, right, this message is about when you finally decide to ultimately start with you when it comes to making sure everyone's good, right? When you start to ultimately go to you first and make sure everyone's good and you're like 100% fully charged, that's when you're able to work on releasing all that fucking anxiety and all those worries that you have based off of your progress. Because, man, y'all, I mean, 9-9. Okay, we have the Leader card. The Leader card. This card is all about the maturity of being a leader. And sometimes you are going to have people that you're leading that might not agree with your direction. And you have to ultimately, like, bro, you got to be looking out for you in all, because if someone's trying to dissuade you in your direction, they're trying to get you off course. So ultimately, your opinion about your life should be your own, ultimately, okay? Ultimately. And as a leader, you know when to cut people off when they're just wasting your time, okay? As a leader, you honor your time and your energy even more than anyone else, because you know how important it is to make sure that you're going in the direction you want to go in. You're setting those intentions every day and every morning when you wake up. Oh, well, I'm recording on my phone, but I had this really cool home screen. Well, actually it's like a lock screen, but it gave all these different ways that I can make, like when I get up, ways that I can make my day great by just like 1, setting intention, 2, finding gratitude in everyday things, 3, taking a minute to just breathe. Those 3 things, I kid you not, it's also just consistently implementing them into your day as well, is what came to mind. So we have the 6 of Wands, then we have the 5 of Pentacles. So the 5 of Pentacles upright talks a lot about the energy of being too prideful, where you would need to ask for help, but you don't want to because you don't want to seem so fucking weak or whatever. You know, that's what comes to my mind when it's like this, right? Upright. But with it reversed, I'm getting the sense that you know when to ask help. I'm getting the sense that as turning into the leader that we all know you are, you're understanding in terms of events when you need to ask for help. We all need to ask for help, every one of us, because like we're all human. We all fuck up sometimes. We all make mistakes. But it's in the times when we ask for help that really we show that we are kind of like vulnerable and like we are human. And one thing about being a human being is we can be vulnerable if we want to. And the vulnerability really shows other people that, yeah, I am struggling too. And when I see someone else struggling, I think, oh shit, like they're on kind of the same kind of like wavelength of struggle with me. And somehow I relate to them more. I don't know why. I don't know why I always relate to people more when I learn that maybe they've struggled in a very similar sense. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's what I'm getting with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, is that you're accepting when you need to be vulnerable, and you're kind of like going to the people that you trust, or going to I guess people or places or things. I don't know, something about being vulnerable and asking for help when you really need it. The 9 of Swords as well. The card all about late night worries. I've been there. Yo, I've lost a lot of weight because of my worries. I get it. But with the 9 of Swords, I kind of want to see though with the words, because I mean, well, really though, it does feel like it's related to the 9 of Pentacles as well. Now, maybe it's time for you as a person just to be vulnerable and open about the worries that you have or the anxiety. And when I say being open and vulnerable, I don't always mean going to a person. Literally, you can write this out on a piece of paper. There's this thing called brain dump, where you just dump everything that is going on in your mind. You just write it. And you don't more so do it manually, you do it auto-manually. So you don't think, right? You don't judge what you're writing. You don't put anything, any type of judgment in, you just write it out. And when you get to see it on paper, then you get to see that, oh, these worries, they're just thoughts. They're not actual reality, right? Our thoughts are perceptions of our reality, but they are not the truthful reality that you live in or that I live in. So when you get all those thoughts out, then you're over time, and this is more so, I would say, dedicate yourself to, like, if you consistently have the 9 of Swords mindset energy, if you're consistently in that, really working on ways to get those out of your brain onto something physical, or maybe you can talk about it with someone that you trust. Maybe sometimes I speak to the koi fish at my local kind of like park, and I feel so much better. It's about being able to allow yourself to ultimately get to that gratitude of whatever it is that is concerning you. Because whatever it is that you're worrying about, you're just putting a lot, like you care about it, you know? You have so much care for it. And maybe it's not going the way you want it to. And getting caught in that like worries, I get you, I get you, I get you. But what's so important is recognizing all the effort that you have made so far with your journey, and recognizing all the gratitude that you can encompass. And over time, with patience, this kind of mindset, this kind of energy that you're in can be released, and you can get more into the Nine of Pentacles, because the more gratitude that you hold in your mind, your body, your soul, the entirety of you, the more you will actually enjoy your life. Guaranteed, guaranteed. I do this thing called a minute of gratitude a day. Usually it's whenever I think about it, quite honestly. I haven't in the past couple of days, and I have noticed, but it's very incredible at how many small things in my life that come up that I'm like, oh yeah, wow, that does make me feel really good. And in time, I'm going to, and if you do this, we're all going to catch on to the smaller moments that the universe or whatever presents to you, whatever you believe in, have faith in, whatever. And it doesn't even need to be anything. But over time, you're going to see that those small gratitude steps are going to lead to your paradise that maybe you're already living in. You know what I mean? And the Nine of Swords and all that kind of like, you can't even have a decent night's sleep. It'll soon be in the past, and you will soon be able to get to a place where you're a lot more released. Now we have the Eight of Cups, okay? So emotions wise, it's something that you are the Chariot and the Ten of Cups. Okay, so ultimately what I'm getting from this, okay, the message that, and I know I had a lot of different messages, but I'm getting that you're on a quest, right? You're on a quest of finding the ultimate. Now let me see if I can get them all lined up how I want them. But ultimately, you're on a quest, my friend. I see that you're on an emotional fulfillment quest. You're trying to get to the 10 of Pentacles, or sorry, 10 of Cups. Currently, you're in the 8 of Cups, and the Chariot looks to be like the overall energy direction flow that you're in. My heart chakra candle is, wow, that is, wow. It's like pooling. It's like melting. I would show you, but I also, this is my altar. So no, I'm not gonna show you. But yeah, ultimately I see that when it comes to whatever it is that you are really working on, you're working on trying to stabilize that ultimate gratitude, that ultimate fulfillment of the 10 of Cups. That's satisfying when you wake up, and that's satisfying when you go to bed. Me too. Let me do, I'm going to, I think, use a couple more decks just to make sure that ultimately I'm on like the direction I need to. I have like so many like decks. I love tarot though. I love tarot and oracle, and quite honestly, so much divination tools that I'm just like, this is awesome. Like, it's so awesome. I'm so grateful that my journey kind of aligned perfectly with reading Oracle and Tarot, and I can't wait to continue to make more videos and kind of expertise my craft. All right, so let's see. This is the Buddha. This is the Buddha deck. Oh boy. Buddha Wisdom, Shakti Power. That's it. I love it. But yeah, so what we got. Para, the ancient tantric mother goddess, origin of all goddesses, mother energy pours forth life. Okay. So yeah, how's your divine feminine, how's your divine feminine stuff going on? I've been very masculine lately, and it shows, because I am absolutely having such a hard time trusting people in my life. And when I don't trust people in my life, I'm just kind of like, oh, crud. That's really hard to be in. But it's all about learning how to trust, for me, the universe, and trust for me that whatever pops up is like ultimately for my higher good. You know, ultimately it is for the good of tomorrow. You know, that's what I do today. What I do today is for tomorrow's stability, you know what I mean? And also what I do today is learn what I can of the past problems of yesterday, so that I can be a bit more wise, and I can be a bit more kind of like, you know, sure of myself. Because that's another thing, is when you learn your mistakes, and when you kind of like, yeah, you change what you need to, you also grow in trusting yourself and trusting that, yes, I can make my life as great as I want it to be. And I don't have to rely on anyone else to like have my life be as great as I want it to be. You know, it's your life. You are the one who is the author of your own stories. You dictate how you want your life to be. You dictate how you want to feel in the morning, in the afternoon, at night. When you want to wake up, you dictate how you want to feel. When you go to bed, you dictate how you want to feel. Everything is about you and what you allow yourself to do, to feel, to believe, to think, to see. Yeah. All right. So we had inspiration, the muses, cleansing as well, Sedna, and reinvention. Ikchul. I'm not really sure, but reinvention. Okay, yeah. So, okay. Main message, right? Main altogether message is looking towards what makes you feel ultimately whole, right? Cleansing the beliefs that no longer resonate with you, or the path that you're currently on, or the path that you want to keep moving on, okay? And then reinventing yourself with beliefs and with a mindset that can align you to the person that you already are when those dreams are accomplished, if you know what I mean. Because it's all about, you are like the chess master, or like you are like the player. You get to dictate also, like when the dice is rolled, right? You get to dictate like what number the dice is rolled on to, right? I'm not sure, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting with the overall message. I hope that helped with you. It helped with me a little too. But yeah, until next time, I will see you in another video. See ya.